This is a season in which we love to think about the incarnation of Jesus. Among our friends in other orders of faith, it's often referred to as the Advent season, and so it's referred to as the first Sunday of Advent, I believe was last week. We really don't observe a liturgical calendar here. At the same time, you know this, I will use any and every excuse to preach about the incarnation of the eternal Son of God. I will use any excuse to preach about his death, burial, and resurrection. I will use any excuse to talk about the fact that God's eternal Son was made flesh and dwelt among us. It is something that I will speak about, Lord willing, until he calls me home or he returns to get us. Because it is the foundational principle that we believe. And I love when it is preached. Last night I tuned into a local church that had a major orchestral production, and I saw it on the live stream, and I know many people who were in the orchestra, and I said, I'm going to stop and listen. You know, you want to hear how your buddies are playing, right? And I'm listening, but what I rejoiced about in that, every time the orchestra would stop playing, they would read a passage. Even though their style of worship is different and some of the doctrinal things that they teach are different than what our convictions are here, there's a passage I thought about from Paul's writings. Nevertheless, Christ is preached, and therein I do rejoice. And so this time of year, as radio stations that play wicked, carnal, secular music, as they play, "Hark the Herald Angels Sing," I'm going to rejoice at that. I'm going to listen as they play, "Mary, Did You Know?" And she did, by the way. I'm going to listen when they play, "O Come Emmanuel." And I'm going to rejoice because in some little way, we've taken over the world in that moment, and Christ is preached. And rather than saying, how dare they play this if they don't really believe it, or I don't like that maybe the incarnation is celebrated, or I don't like when it's celebrated in December because my opinion might be that it was at some other time, I'm going to rejoice that the name of Christ is going out over more airwaves and more ears are hearing the name of Christ than before. That's what I call a victory. And I give you full permission to celebrate each and every victory that Christianity has in the world today.